Hello best friend, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fabulous day. If this is the first time you're watching my channel, my name is Sebastian and I welcome you guys with open arms. I do pop culture videos every single day, so if you're looking for a new messy best friend, you have found me. Grab a snack, grab a drink, hit that subscribe button. I would be very grateful. I spoke about this in my previous video, but I wanted to, because I'm not sure which video you guys watched, but I wanted to share something with you. I have not been able to wear this shirt without a jacket because of my body dysmorphia and because of my arms. And when I was at the closet today, I said, you know what, Sebastian? It is time for you to start loving your body. Now, can there be improvements if I want them? Absolutely. But I'm tired and I'm done living with what are people gonna say. I have been bullied my whole life up to this point and I'm done with it. So as of today, July 12, honey, I'm gonna start embracing myself and my body, because it is time. After so many years, I'm done with the criticism over my own body. So just wanted to put that out there, that today is a day where I believe we should start really loving ourselves and stop paying attention to the outside noise. Okay, having said that, you guys, we gotta talk about Zayn. So he did the interview. I'm gonna tell you guys, honestly, the interview was very long, okay? It's a long interview, but I skimmed through it. I did skim through it. So I'm not gonna make this video very long, but you know, he said a lot without saying a lot, if that makes sense. One thing that he did, oh, by the way, the rumors of him talking about Selena Gomez were false, girl. He did not even mention her, okay? But he did talk a lot about the One Direction time. So we need to talk about this because I found it so interesting. Okay. By the way he says daughter, oh my God, first of all, I find his speaking voice so sexy. I don't think I've ever heard him speak before. I've only heard him sing. But like,
since I've had my daughter, the main thing in my mind is trying to be a good example to her.
He's actually so charming. He's so charming. And his accent is like, I can imagine him like kissing you and be like, are you okay? Oh, we must hurry because we got to go pick up my daughter. Ah! Anyways, okay. So this is what he said about One Direction. He says, I was 17. It's taken me so much time to process it. Now I'm older. I don't black it out. I just don't overthink it. We got thrown into the deep end. There was no time for anxiety. I definitely got out at the right time. If I'd done it any longer, it might have affected me more. They used to make me out as I was the serious one. That wasn't really my personality type. It was just a marketing scheme. I get it, but I don't think you can define a person as that. We were a bit more complex than that. I think I just had one face to pull and that was it, and fans go with it. While remaining coy about the finer details, Zayn said contract disputes were a factor in him leaving the group, along with the fact that he wanted to be the first member to release solo music. He said, I knew for a minute there was a lot of politics. Certain people didn't want to sign contracts, and I knew something was happening. So I was like, I'll just get ahead of the curve and get out of here. I think this is done. I'm thinking he's talking about Harry Styles. What do you guys think? I completely selfishly wanted to be the first person to go and make my own record. I jumped the gun, and when it comes to my music, I'm serious and competitive, and I wanted to be the first to do it. Zayn revealed there were several underlying issues among him and the other 4 members of the group. He said, we had been together nearly every day for 5 years. We were close and got to do crazy things together, which no one else in the world will ever understand. I look back now in a much fonder light than when I first left. It just ran its course. I wasn't afraid of what the world thought. First thing I wanted to do was ring my mom and be like, can I come home? See, that's what I'm saying. He's so cute. As soon as she said, yeah, I was like, okay, I'm done. I hadn't told my mom beforehand. I hadn't really thought about it. You know what? Being a group I've seen it like my lifetime. You hear about all the groups not working out, you know, the big groups, you know, you have like One Direction, you have Destiny's Child, back to the 90s, you have, you know, NSYNC, you have the Spice Girls, right? You have all of these groups. That's why you don't see a lot of groups. I mean, there's like BTS and Blackpink, but like, you know, you really don't see a lot of groups nowadays because Fifth Harmony, of course, you know, so many groups. And I feel that like when you're, especially in like their case, like Fifth Harmony, that they were put together, you know, they came in as solo artists and then they were put together in a group. And One Direction was one of the biggest groups ever. I mean, I remember like that was like everyone was so obsessed with one. I remember that time was like One Direction and Twilight. It was like that's all you saw or heard. I think that Zayn definitely did a good thing by leaving, because I think that after 5 years and seeing all the mega success, I do think that you believe that you can do things solo, right? And I mean, if I'm being honest, the only one who's had massive success is Harry Styles, right? Because there's always one person in the group that is like the one who shines the most to record labels and to producers and managers. For example, NSYNC, it was Justin Timberlake for some time, but then he fell out, thank God. Then you have like Destiny's Child, you had Beyonce, you know, then you had you have Spice Girls, you have Victoria Beckham because she became like this huge model. I know I'm missing a bunch. You have Fifth Harmony, you have Camila Cabello, you know, and then you have One Direction, you have Harry Styles. I feel like in no other group there has been able to have like the same success, you know, as one. You know, there's only just that one who like really comes off. And there's been a lot of rumors about One Direction lately that allegedly, you know, they're gonna come back together. And like we've seen groups come back together. We've seen, I mean, the only group that I feel like came back together, because the Backstreet Boys never separated, but the one group that came back together and had a huge success was the Spice Girls. I remember reading that the Spice Girls, when they came back in like 2007, their full like stadium tour sold out in like 10 minutes or something. So I think that One Direction at some point will come back together and do like a reunion tour. But I also feel like Harry Styles has had so much success as a solo artist that, you know, I'm pretty sure he's like, do I want to share this? Because if you think about it, no other group has done this, you know, has come together. Fifth Harmony, there's rumors that they're coming back together. You know, NSYNC, they reunited for the Super Bowl for Justin. That's it. And Destiny's Child also reunited for Beyonce's Super Bowl. That's it. So I think that once you go solo and you see that you are majorly successful, I feel like you're like, I mean, you guys need me. You know what I mean? Like, you need me to be able to be fully successful again. And I think that a One Direction reunion without Harry Styles will not work. But I also feel like at some point you have to like, you know, I'm not saying this is Zayn, but like at some point you have to realize that maybe your solo career is never going to be as big as, you know, when you're in a group. So it's a good thing that he has fonder memories of One Direction now. He's healed from all the trauma and all the roller coaster ride, and maybe it's time to come back together. You know, what do you guys want to see a One Direction reunion? Let me know in the comments. I also feel like, because he said this is his first interview in 6 years. So when he said that, I was like, damn, like there must have been a lot of things that he had to overcome. I know he's had a lot of solo stuff. He even did the Aladdin part of your, no, that's Little Mermaid, A Whole New World with Becky G. Like he's done his thing, but not like major success, right? I feel like he also took time to be a father, you know, and all of these things. But I think One Direction, in those 5 years that they were together, they never stopped, not one time. And I feel like when you get out of that, like, damn, you must be exhausted. And Harry Styles, he's been on tour for the past 2 years or something. So I just feel like they needed a break. I feel like Harry Styles really needs a break now. And let's see what happens. But it's cool that he's like talking about this. I mean, he hasn't talked about anything in 6 years. You know, he's been super quiet. So I'm glad he's out there. And damn, he's so sexy. But he didn't really say anything too controversial, you guys. I mean, the interview was cute and all, but you can tell he had a little bit of anxiety. And he does talk about anxiety and stuff like that. But yeah, you could tell that he was like, he's trying to get out there, you know? But anyways, let me know if you want a One Direction reunion. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah.